And we're recording. Alright. Hey everyone, this is Luminous Mongoose, and today we're going to be reviewing, quickly, Geralt of Rivia from Witcher 3, McFarlane Studios. Now, McFarlane has been getting a lot of licenses lately, and, you know, they've been pretty hit or miss in my opinion, but let's see if this one's a hit. Let's take a look at the accessories first, because I think these are some of the best parts of this figure. You see he has two swords here, one steel, one silver, one's for killing monsters, one's for killing humans, you know, they're both great. They're a solid plastic, so they're not gonna bend easy. My only complaint with them, I think, because they're sculpted well, but the paint job is very basic. Like, it looks kind of like a, you know, toy, which is funny to say because they are toys, but, you know, a little bit more realism would go a long way. Like, a chrome finish would make this just look amazing. I can just do that on my own, but, you know, the extra effort shouldn't have been needed. Next is his scabbard. You can see his sheath here. It's really well done. You can see, like, the actual leather bindings on the thing. It looks great, but when you turn it around, yeah, no, that's a bit ugly. Like, if you peg it on the back, you can see he has a hole on his back here. You can peg it there. Simple enough. See, and then you can put his swords there. Let's see, yeah, you shouldn't mind the noises. I don't have a room at the moment. I'm getting that prepped. But they shouldn't be too noisy. And there, it looks fine, but, you know, it looks a bit awkward that it's just an open scabbard. I really wish they had just made it closed, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Then, of course, his other remaining accessory is probably the best accessory I've ever seen from McFarlane, is this. This werewolf head. Look at this. Look at the detail. I like the rope tied around, and I think most of the budget went into the sculpt because, look at that. The eyes are milky white, like it's actually recently dead. The tongue is curved in a way like it's falling out from gravity, which is how you're gonna hook it onto here. There's so much expression for, you know, a dead werewolf. You can see he has a little gash here too, like, look at that. You can see it, it's like deep, it's sculpted in there, it's not just paint. And even the underside, like, okay, this one is a bit, you know, it's just red, but you don't really need much. You're gonna be mostly facing him like this, so, you know, it's fine. And it's amazing, like, we're just gonna put it right here. And that looks fantastic. Oops, uh-oh. Now that's a problem. I'm not actually sure if you should use it for that. Let's just put it on the hand so we're sure, alright? There we go. There we go. Fresh from killing a werewolf. He looks great. Next, we're gonna talk about Geralt himself. Let's stop talking about his accessories. Geralt's head sculpt is pretty good. It looks like him in the game. You know, the paint job overall in the figure is a bit matte and basic for my taste. Like, not the sculpting. The sculpting is amazing. Like, look at this. The sculpting on the boots and the pants, the armor, everything is textured really nicely and it looks like actual cloth. The problem is the paint doesn't reflect that. I think the paint is actually too clean because this is supposed to be Geralt. He's supposed to be a monster hunter, so why isn't he dirtier? I think a dry wash over this with a bit of black all over, especially over the hair. His hair looks way too plasticky. A bit of wash would go a long way in making him look much more authentic. But the sculpt itself is great. Like, you can see it right here. He looks wonderful. I do have one complaint, though, about the proportions of this figure. Like, he looks fine, but to me, he looks a bit like, you know, turtlenecked. It's not too bad, like, from the side, but from the front, it kind of looks like he's always, like, kind of bunched up in the shoulders. Even if I make him, like, yeah. So what I do is, I can pop off the head here a little. And then just slightly put it back in. See that? It just pegs off. But now the hard part is this. I've been having trouble with this, but let's see if I can... Okay, I did it well in this recording. Come on. There we go. That's better. Look at that. Isn't that much better? Like, you can see the neck from the front, and it just makes him look way better proportioned, like he's supposed to be a tall dude, muscular dude. And look, okay, you can see a little bit of gappage there, right there. I think they should have added more neck to this figure, I don't know why they didn't. I feel like they should have added more neck to this figure and made him look so much better. Look at that. I'm probably gonna have to mod that in, but overall, the sculpt is fantastic. Now we're going to be working the articulation, so, you know, as much as I love the longer neck, it's going to keep on falling off if I don't peg it in. So, come on. Yeah, alright. Okay, so, quick cut. Let's move on to articulation. Now, there are some good pieces of articulation here. It's basically standard McFarlane, you know, and honestly, with recent years, they've gotten really, really good with their articulation. However, there is one kerfuffle I have with the articulation for this particular figure, but we'll get to that. First, let's look at, you know, the basic stuff. Let's look at his arms. Right, let's get in here. You've got your shoulders. You can go up that far. It hits into here, but this is a soft material, so that's not going to be a problem. You can go full 360. That's no problem. Very smooth. You got your double jointed elbows. Great for sword fighting. You can really get that sword right in there for posing. He has ball hinge wrists, which is great for dueling. Look at that. Lots of range, lots of rotations. This guy can definitely parry. Wrist rotation. Same for the other arm, you know. Then the legs, you can do split. Wow, okay. Okay, I did not expect that. Damn, Geralt's got some moves. Look at that. He can... I think I can make him do a kick. We'll do that later. But yeah, that's impressive. I did not expect that. He can kick out that far. Okay, you're starting to see the cut there. But, you know, you can kick that far and kick back that far. This is really impressive leg articulation. I did not expect that. He can kick his own ass. Ding! That's great. That's a little Foosh reference for you guys. And he's got ankle pivot. And forward and backward. That's pretty good. So overall, okay, yeah, there's no thigh swivel, I noticed. They're just slight, but you know, you don't really need in this, actually. I don't think you miss it, because that's pretty fantastic. You can get them into some really good poses with that amount of range and the pivot, if you really want to. But you know, before we do that, let's talk about the stuff that I really don't think I like about this figure is the articulation in the torso, which is, I haven't mentioned this yet, but this is a soft material. Like, it looks fine. He's standing there. But when you pose him, look at this. He has an ab crunch. That looks really ugly to me. Maybe it's just me, but look at that. That does not look natural. It looks like it looks like I hurt him, and I feel bad for doing this. He can also go back this far, and that one doesn't look as bad. That one looks okay, tiny bit more natural, but I still look like I'm breaking his back. But that's a lot of range, but it's sacrificing aesthetics. I really wish they would have just sculpted this torso in, and I actually would have been happier, because I like a solid torso more than this soft stuff. But you know, they're trying new things, so we'll go. He also has side to side. He also has a little bit of clicking here. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but he can go like that and like that, which is actually pretty impressive. And, you know, waist rotation. So you can get a lot of poses with this guy, and it's gonna look good either way. And I really enjoy that. This figure, actually, you know what? I thought I was gonna have a problem with that torso, but honestly, after some time fooling around with it, he looks great. I'm just gonna have to modify the neck a bit, because lastly, let's look at the head. Yeah, no, that head's not looking up because of the hair and the really short neck. That is probably my biggest gripe now, after I figure out how to handle the torso. But he can look side to side, and you know, little head tilt, little head tilt. So yeah, he's pretty good looking. Now let's get him standing here for our size comparisons. Alright, let's move on to size comparisons. This is going to be pretty fun. Now let's compare him to, you know, the average stuff that you probably want him to compare to. Let's get another DC McFarlane figure in here. Tab DC McFarlane Azrael. I feel like he's the only McFarlane figure I have, but from other videos I've seen, he's pretty much the standard height for most of the McFarlane superheroes, so if you want to get Geralt there for some reason, they are all medieval themed-ish, especially Last Nightwave, so... Wait, was it Last Nightwave? Or was it the other one? Whatever. But, yeah, they scale pretty well, especially since they're supposed to be comic book characters, they're supposed to be larger than life, so I think this works out fine. Next we have, compare him to your average 6-inch Marvel Legends. You have Spider Noir, who I've been having issues standing today for some reason, and now he's standing perfectly, great. And he's a bit small, you can argue that it's Spider-Man, but really, you can look at the arms and just the legs, and you know that this is a smaller figure. McFarlane inches towards 7-inch scale. Look at that. Spider-Noir is so upset he fell down. But yeah. You know, they're a different scale, but you can make it work with some camera trickery. Anyway, let's take them out and compare them with bigger Marvel Legends. We have Marvel Legends Colossus here, who just ruined my set. Let's get him standing straight. There we go, way taller, and I think that's actually a pretty good scale for him. And let's get a Storm Collectibles Ken here. Definitely way bigger and way thicker, and just for fun, and you know, maybe you can use him as a monster. I'm gonna get someone special. This is Storm Collectibles Sagat, and I'm not even sure if I got him in frame. I haven't looked at the camera yet. Yeah, no, he's standing heads and shoulders over everyone else here. But I think that actually scales pretty well. Honestly, I think Geralt can work. We're just gonna assume that everyone in the Street Fighter universe is just thicker and muscle. But yeah, that works out pretty good. Let's get these figures out. Let's get in some people that might actually fit with him. Let's get some Mythic Legions here. We have Mythic Legions Krona. And yeah, no, that is a wonderful scale, actually. That looks great with next to him. I think he'll fit in perfectly in any Mythic Legions display. And next we have Baron Volgar from the most recent wave of Mythic Legions, the All-Star Wave 3. I highly recommend that if you don't have these, you should get them while they're in stock, because they are amazing figures. And they're just gonna get more expensive with time, so get them while you can, if you really want them. And yeah, he scales perfectly well. Geralt's a bit taller than them, but you know, Geralt's a tall dude. That'll work out just fine. He'll work great as a bounty hunter in your world. Next up, we have, let's see, let's get some smaller figures in here. Let's have, for funsies, let's have Figma Darkness, because, you know, this is still medieval, this still works. They're both still mercenaries, technically. And she's just absolutely tiny. Yeah, this is like completely out of scale. You can't even, you're gonna have to get some real camera trickery to get this couple working out. And if you want it even smaller, I have a Megamine here. That is absolutely tiny. But if they ever make a kid series, you know, you can make it that height, and I think that would work out. And let's see, what else can I get here? I have this other armored figure. This is my custom leper figure from Darkest Dungeons. I used an Azrael from Arkham Knight as a base. And you know what? That looks fantastic, actually. I'm gonna get some poses with these guys later. And yeah, you know what? That's all the size comparisons I have for today. Overall, the figure's amazing. Like, you know, the swords could use some paint. The scabbard, I really want this to be closed. Head's amazing. Nothing needs to be changed about this. This is fantastic. Although I do have one little fun hope, was they could have added a peg hole here, so I could just put it on the head like that. I could have a werewolf Geralt. Like, actually, you know what? Let's see. Let's see if I can do that. Just for fun. Let's get a reel here. If you look at that. Wow, wouldn't that have been cool? If you could have been a werewolf Geralt. But yeah, you know, we can't ask for too much. This is for fun. Alright, I got him in a cool pose. And yeah. So overall, I think this Geralt figure is pretty great, actually. At first, I thought the torso would bother me a lot, but by the end, I think I like it. Actually, no, I don't like it, but, you know, I tolerate it. You know, I wish the scabbard was actually covered. I wish they were more painted chrome here. More just dry washing, full dry washing on this figure. But other than that, it's a pretty great figure, and I think you should get it. we don't really have any other Geralt figures at this point. And I don't think it'll be happening for a while unless, like, some import company gets it. Which, you know, with CDPR's reputation right now, I don't think that's happening. But yeah, overall, he's a great figure, and I'm gonna have to take some pictures at the end with this guy. Okay, see you in the next video.